I think the question that we have for this piece in particular is, could it have come from the primary search area? And the simple calculations, just making some simple assumptions, is that the currents are going in the right direction, as we just heard, counterclockwise, ending up in that spot toward Reunion in the western part of the Indian Ocean. Did it have time to do that in 16 months? Absolutely, it could have done that. So I don't think that there's anything about this piece being located in Reunion Island that says that they should change the search area, which is based on satellite information, not on drift.
So talk to me about the hard work which kicks in if indeed this part is confirmed as being from MH370, the work that it will take to basically calculate where it came from.
Well, I think you're going to see everyone that's got a model that can make a model of current flow is going to be trying to backtrack this over the 16 months. They need to know about the winds, they need to know about the currents, they also need to know about the storms, and they would need to know about whether this object was sticking out of the water quite a bit or was it in the water quite a bit, because that will depend on whether it's being blown about by wind and waves. I think the main impact of this item being found is the emotional impact on the families. It's horrific. And they've been waiting so long and hoping against hope that this day would never come. Most of them, I think, still hope that the plane was safe and sound someplace. And then on the teams that have been out there for months and months and months surveying without finding anything, I think this finally is the first tangible bit of evidence that they are looking for a plane that went down somewhere in the Indian Ocean. So I think among other things, the emotional impact that this will have on the families and on the search teams is pretty huge.
David, some have raised the point that, you know, as part of the calculation, or the back calculation, if you will, to tracing where this debris came from, you have to factor in the fact that the main wreckage itself could have moved during the many months it has been missing, if this is indeed part of MH370.
If it's on the bottom, that usually is pretty stable. But with Air France 447, we had a debris field that was only a few days to a couple of weeks old. So it was fairly recent, maybe 80 miles away from where the last known position was. And the retro drift, we call it retro drift modeling, actually put us in the wrong place. So that was, compared to this, that was relatively easy. And yet we were, the retro drift modeling sent us into a haystack for which there was no needles. So we spent 2 months surveying a place where the retro drift modelers were fairly certain the plane would be, and the plane was not in that area. So it's a very complicated and non-linear sort of thing to figure out where that piece began its journey.